Hi, Casey here, and we're just going to do a quick little playthrough of the Misery demo. So, we'll go ahead and open that up. For starters, we did go ahead, I keep saying we, but it's me. I went ahead and changed the volume of the main menu theme just because it was a little loud. Changed the credits as well. May or may not notice that, so anyways, we'll go back and we'll go ahead and launch the game. You can see the loading screen has been fixed, the animation plays, the little screen clipping that was happening at the bottom right, it's no longer happening. One thing to note, as soon as you start, the camera here went ahead and affixed the light to it. Also changed the light from a point light to a spotlight, that way you could actually see with it instead of it just reflecting off of objects. Then the next thing I did is I did scale the player's height a little better just to fit the natural surroundings a little more. You'll notice that when I walk up to things, such as the door, it actually knocks now, so it kind of, gives it a little bit more realism feel here. I'm going to shut up for a minute and just sort of walk around and show some of the environment. You'll notice some of the spatial sounds I've added with just, the lanterns, fire, that sort of thing. Some of the objects in the space do still need to be scaled down. If you look at that table over there, it is still a little small. I will be fixing that later on in a future release. The dialogue options are random. Well, not random there, they are on a sequence, but the sound file that plays is not random. Or, sorry, it is random. So that way it gives it a little bit more of a realistic feel. With this light, you can see, into the trees a little bit better, which is nice. And look at the buildings up close a little better, instead of just being a fixed light. We'll go ahead with the story here. As you can see, we've scaled the tent up as well. Giles is a very artistic lad. He loves to draw things apparently when he's writing notes to to Frode there. But yeah, we'll continue on with the game play. Let's see. We'll head into the first tutorial cave here. And you'll notice it has music now, which was a big flaw that I realized I left out of the original release, so pretty funny there. I'm not planning on changing at the moment the actual brightness of this level because, it is a cave, there's a lantern for a reason, and I kind of like how dark it is. Enemies still, don't really do much because there's no combat, but, there are still some there just for fun. We'll just sort of walk around a little bit. One thing that I noticed when watching a few people play, as well as, just playing myself, a lot of times with the original lantern you couldn't see very well through the actual caves here. This, because it is more of a spotlight instead of a point light, it's going to give players a lot more, a lot more to see there, so that'll be pretty nice. We'll continue walking along. Just a little guy there. The chests are not going to work just yet because without the battle sequence, I kind of saw the inventory system as, kind of dumb to have in the demo, so that's been deprecated for now just because there are some things that need to be ironed out first. We'll go ahead and walk through the rest of the cave area here. Stopping to just, admire some of the vegetation every now and again. Now, this game is made entirely in Unreal Engine. A lot of the assets that you'll see are just free marketplace assets or, assets that Epic has released for free during like the monthly updates, that sort of thing. So if you wanted to make a project like this, you could just, take a look at the Unreal assets there. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of scripting and things like that involved, placement, but we'll continue on. And you may notice some of the objects have been scaled as well, which was a big thing for the last demo. Now, to get into more of the buggy but better side of things here, you'll notice that the wolves are not invisible in this area now, which was a big flaw of the original release. They are still a bit buggy as far as, like they do chase the player, just sort of playing around with implementing that instead of, the last air cave area, they didn't move. You'll notice they sort of go back to their original spline position there for the nav mesh or whatever. That is still a work in progress, so don't be too sad if you see that glitch there. That is going to be ironed out, but for now, we'll just leave this guy to his own devices. Obviously, there's an area over there. I'll let you check that out if you wanted to download the demo. We'll go ahead and look at some of the other changes made. Old boy just chilling on the ground. Mood. So, walking along into the second cave area here, we've got another enemy that's just going to run up to us. If you guys have any feedback or comments on whether or not you like the wolves having this light, I kind of like them having that because you can kind of see, like where they are when you don't have your lantern on. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that. Looks like he's running all the way back to where that other wolf is, so that's cool. If you guys have any feedback there, though, feel free to leave that in the comments below. So yeah, we'll go ahead and activate the bridge here. Obviously, later in the game, once the, actual mechanics are added, you won't be able to just walk up and do this. You'll have to do some specific things to get this bridge to show up, but we'll continue on. You'll notice that I added these little pylons to, the sections where the wooden planks meet. That was to clean up a little bit of, the mishmash wooden planks. You'll notice in earlier releases that they sort of were clipping into each other. There was some weird angling on this end as well, and I didn't really like that, so this was just a way to clean it up a little bit. We won't talk too much about that area just yet. It is going to be featured in a later update, but for now, not an explorable area. We'll continue on to the next area, which is going to be the first boss area. That has been scaled. Some of the little, environment features have been scaled, such as these coffins on the right and the fire, but nothing too crazy. Just to, give it a little bit more realism. And, that's going to be it for the demo here. Obviously, the menus, they're still a work in progress. I'm having an issue right now in the actual released version with these check boxes not actually changing any of the settings, so I am going to have to fix that before that, little message here can be removed. I do believe the game should launch in a windowed mode full screen. So if you do have, other issues with that, like if it doesn't launch in a full screen mode, if you could leave a comment, I'd really appreciate that. In the meantime, that will be it for this latest update. If you want to download this, feel free to visit the itch.io page, which I'll leave in the video description below if you're watching this on YouTube. Or, if you're viewing this from the itch.io page or my website, feel free to go ahead and visit the itch page to get that demo there. So we'll end it off here by just going into the door and ending the demo. As always, any feedback is highly appreciated, as it says there, so if you liked this game, or if you like the demo, you're interested in it, please feel free to leave a comment or send me a message any sort of way that you can, and I'd be glad to take your feedback there. So, have a great day. Bye-bye.